Shwmai and welcome. Today's vlog comes from Brecon Beacons National Park, where I've headed to Waterfall Country, and today I'm going to be taking on arguably the best waterfall hike in Wales, if not the UK. Now, I've coined it a circuit of waterfall country, and it actually links up 3 separate waterfall trails. So the Sychryd Gorge, the Elidir Trail and the Waterfalls Trail. Now, I've done a vlog on each of these walks separately, which you can find up here. However, today I'm linking all 3 up to create one epic 14-kilometer walk. It's got about 530 meters of elevation gain and is a moderately challenging walk. So pretty epic, and it visits no fewer than 9 waterfalls, 2 of which you are able to walk behind, alongside dozens of cascades. I would recommend parking in Pont Neg Fechan outside the waterfall centre, free parking on the roadside. The reason why I say you should start there is you can finish your walk up by either going to the Angel Inn or a Sgwd Gwladys coffee shop. Now, once you've parked there, you walk around 1 kilometre to Dinas Rock car park, where I am now. You can park here, but the reason why I opt against it is that it closes at 5:30. If you are running late, you'll get locked in. Also, you have 1 kilometre of road walking to start the walk off, and I'd rather do that at the start than at the end. Enough rambling, let's get into the hike. So it starts here in Dinas Rock. Once you've done the road walk, and you want to head up this path towards Sychryd Waterfall, waterfall number 1. Let's go. So after around 1.8k from Pont Neg Fechan, you're going to reach that signpost, yellow arrow indicating left. That will take you up to the Waterfalls Trail, where we're going next. Instead, you want to head right and drop down towards the sound of the river. That'll take you to waterfall number 1, Sychryd Gorge. So behind me is waterfall number 1, Upper Sychryd Falls. It's a beautiful little waterfall that flows under a wooden footbridge in this plunge pool here. You can actually swim in there, but I'd only recommend doing so if it isn't fast flowing and it is safe to do so. What I love about this waterfall is that firstly, it's incredibly quiet. You'll barely see anyone here, but also it's a pretty fairy tale setting. It's set deep within a sort of tranquil woodland surrounded by forest. Really, really beautiful. Now, either side of the falls are sets of silica mines, which you can go in, poke your head in and explore. Don't go too far though. I'd recommend a head torch, but you can poke your head around there. But absolutely beautiful. You can drop down to where I am and view it. You can also head across the bridge, and you can also view it from the platform there. Now, once you're done here, you've got to retrace your steps back up to the main path. Where you branch right, you then want to head left and start making your way up into the valley towards the Waterfalls Trail. Let's push on. So after rejoining the path of the first waterfall, you'll gradually climb up through the valley. It's a pretty well maintained path, very obvious. Quite muddy to start off with, then becomes gravel. You get some great views looking back down through the valleys and up towards some of the mountains and the central beacons. After about 5k, you'll then begin to drop down to waterfall number 2, which is the crown jewel of this walk. It is Sgwd y Eira. It's called the Waterfall of Snow. And as you can see, it falls in a curtain-like pattern, around 15 meters. Absolutely beautiful. Again, set in a gorgeous wooded valley. Now, what makes this so special, and probably the most sought after waterfall in this trail, is the fact the path goes directly behind the waterfall. So you can stand and walk behind it. It is otherworldly, absolutely incredible. Now, when it is flowing very heavily, you will get soaked. Take care, it is very slippery. You've got to weave your way around, and you can view it from the other side. Let's go. Absolutely unbelievable. That's absolutely insane. Got absolutely soaked. So I'm around 2 hours, just under 6k into the walk. I got absolutely drenched walking behind that waterfall, so I'm very glad I had my waterproofs and my backpack is waterproof. Now once you've done enjoying the crown jewel of this walk, I sat here, had a coffee and a bit of chocolate, you want to head up the 170 bastard steps. At the top there are some benches, so if you did have a cardiac arrest you could sit there, chill out a bit. Once you hit the top you want to bear left and follow the trail towards marker number 25. Once you reach marker 25 there's going to be a fork in the path. You want to head left and start heading down the slope into the forest. So behind me is waterfall number 3, Sgwd y Pannwr, the fall of the woolen washer. So really wide cascade. You'll initially come out above the waterfall. However, if you really did want to, you can scramble down to the lower bank and view it from below. Right, once you've seen the third waterfall, you're simply going to follow the riverbank upstream for a couple of 100 meters where you'll reach waterfall number 4. Let's crack on. So after a couple of 100 meters heading upstream, you'll reach Sgwd Isaf Clun-Gwyn, which means lower fall of the White Meadow. Now this is actually a sequence of waterfalls separated by a number of deep pools. It's absolutely beautiful. You'll actually come out to where I'm stood and you can see the main section of falls. However, if you scramble up the bank behind me, you will be able to view the falls, the main section of the falls side on, which I would recommend doing. They are absolutely beautiful. This is probably one of my favourite waterfalls in the Brecon Beacons. Absolutely stunning. Now from Sgwd Isaf Clun-Gwyn you have two options. The route will tell you to drop back down to waterfall number 3, fall of the woolen washer, head back up that slope to marker number 25, then head left. I'd only do that if you have small children and you're not comfortable with heights. However, there is an alternative route which has been closed off. However, it is pretty safe. So I'm going to showcase you through, I'm going to walk you through it now. It basically skirts up above Sgwd Isaf Clun-Gwyn and follows the right hand side of the river back up to waterfall number 5. So there we go, that was the real treacherous walk completed. From here, simply following the riverbank as it takes you up to the next waterfall. So that's the tricky part done. In my eyes that's very easy, not that exposed. And from here on in it's much easier. Let's go. So the trail has brought me to waterfall number 5, the upper fall of the White Meadow. Now this spills over 2 separate sections. Spectacular view from up here, quite a steep drop. However, if you head upstream for around 500 meters, cross a wooden footbridge and come back downstream, you can actually view the waterfall from below. Now to do this you've got to scramble down the side of the falls. It is quite tricky and can be very slippery, so take care. You can also wander across and view the platform from the middle ledge. Absolutely spectacular. Now this marks the end of the Four Falls Trail. Now from here, so you retrace your steps, head left, and it'll take you up to the main road. Let's go. Now from the end of the Four Falls Trail, like I said, you head up the road, you reach a chapel, you head left into a field, cross through 3 stiles, and then branch left. You go through like a farmer's sort of courtyard, left again, follow the fence down through another field, and it'll spit you out onto a road, which you then continue to follow down until you get to here, Pont Melyn Fach car park. Tiny little car park. This is the top of the Elidir Trail. So if you're planning to do just that walk, I would recommend parking here. From here, it's pretty easy and pretty obvious. Final stretch, all downhill. It's 2 kilometers down to a wooden footbridge, and you're going to pass 3 waterfalls on the way, and we're going to finish off with one of the best waterfalls on the trail. Now behind me is the first fall on the Elidir Trail, Sgwd y Pannwr, Upper Gushing Falls. Again, wide curtain of water, really beautiful. You'll initially come out above the waterfall, but you can drop down to view it from below. And again, you can go swimming there, but it is quite rocky. Right, continue downstream to the next waterfall. Let's go. So behind me is waterfall number 7, Sgwd Gwladys, Lower Gushing Falls. Now the path brings you out on the top where you can view it from above. However, you can scramble down the bank and come view it from below. Be careful. This bedrock is incredibly slippery and it's a broken hip waiting to happen. So really take your time here. However, you get a beautiful view. There's a lower set of falls and an upper set of falls which you can scramble up and walk up to the base. Again, be really careful. Now from here you simply follow the incredibly slippy bedrock, or if you don't want a broken hip, you can walk along the side for another couple of 100 meters and it'll take you to the next waterfall. So I've made it down to the 8th waterfall, Horseshoe Falls. Wide set of falls above a lower set of smaller falls. This is probably the least impressive and the smallest of the 9 waterfalls on this trail. Still pretty beautiful. You can see Sgwd Gwladys in the background where we just come from. Continuing on from here, you're going to head downstream. You can't get lost because one path. Keep going until you get to a wooden footbridge. Well, set of 2 wooden footbridges that cross the river. Don't cross any of these. Instead, bear right and follow the right hand side of the river up to the 9th and final waterfall. Let's go. Now I've reached the 9th and final waterfall on this circuit, Sgwd Gwladys, the Lady Falls. Now alongside Sgwd y Eira, it's probably the most spectacular and the most popular waterfall here. Extremely beautiful, falls around 15 meters off a sandstone lip into this deep plunge pool. What I love about this waterfall is you can view it from below, you can actually walk up and view it from the sandstone lip above, and if you're feeling brave and the water's not flowing too fast, you can cross over, walk around and actually stand behind it. Do take care as it is very slippery. Now here's also a great spot to have a swim. It's usually quite calm, the water's not that fast flowing. So if you are going to dip anywhere on this walk, I would recommend here. Also, it's the last waterfall. Whatever you do, do not jump off the sandstone lip. People have been airlifted to hospital. I don't want to sound like a killjoy. It's extremely dangerous. You don't know how deep it is. You don't know what's beneath the water. You get a lot of fallen trees from storms, so there could be something lurking beneath the water. Could even be a shopping trolley. You don't know, it is South Wales after all. So yeah, go for a swim by all means, but enter safely. Make sure you're acclimatized, don't just jump straight in. There is an optional extension to a 10th waterfall, Sgwd y Pannwr, Fall of the Crooked Anvil. Now, this is located about a mile upstream from Sgwd Gwladys. Unfortunately, I'm not going to go to it today. Sun has set, it's already getting dark. You're going to have to watch my Elidir Trail video to find out how to reach that, but you do have to cross the river twice. So I wouldn't recommend doing it if you have children or if there's been a lot of rain and the river's fast flowing, because it is quite dangerous. But if it is safe to do so, it is a beautiful waterfall and well worth the extension. Once you're done viewing this waterfall, you simply retrace your steps back down to the wooden footbridge which you didn't cross, bear right, cross over it, and head downstream back to Pont Ned Fechan. It's about a further 2 kilometers, and that'll bring you out by the Angel Inn and Sgwd Gwladys coffee shop. So if you're feeling hungry, I would recommend stopping off there. Right, let's enjoy this a little bit more before heading back.